presentation does not aim at giving us answers for the Feesmustfall, but to look at the dominant feelings and thoughts that we as current students have been experiencing, and also to highlight the role students play in higher education and in politics in South Africa. On my left-hand side, pretty much explains what was happening in June 16, whereby students protested against Afrikaans language being the primary language that was used in South African schools. It was a build-up of bitterness from students because of the apartheid movement. So this actually shows us how education is valued by students in South Africa. Looking at the other picture with the Feesmustfall. The Feesmustfall is the student-led protest movement that began mid-October in 2015, which was a response to an increase of fees by the government. The protest started from the Wits University and it spread through University of Cape Town, the University of Pretoria, Rhodes University, and it rapidly spreading to other universities. What caused what happened in 1976? According to the American Medium Degree of 1974, Afrikaans had to be used for mathematics, arithmetic, language, and social studies from Standard 5, which was grade 7 that time, today. And also English would be used as a medium of instruction for general science and practical subjects, including homecraft, needlework, woodwork, and metalwork, art, and agricultural sciences. Whereby indigenous languages would be used for religious purposes, instructions, music, and physical cultures. So what was very detrimental at that time was that the teachers were not able to equip a range of intellectual and learning skills to students. Never be afraid to raise your voice for honesty and truth, and compassion against injustice and lying and greed. If people all over the world would do this, it would change the earth. So students of 1976, when I'm thinking about it, they are really encouraging me not to be afraid for a person to voice out your concerns. They had a common vision to stand for what they believe is right, because education to them is very important.
Students started to bring Rhodes Must Fall. Students wanted to move from that system. So now it moved over to Feesmustfall. So now Feesmustfall is like an umbrella for all the other issues. Students have different feelings, they have different emotions, they behave differently during this time of the uprising of the Feesmustfall. Some students are for it, some students are against it.
The fact that unmet needs of students have become almost a political feature in South African history. And in the past, if it was based in terms of inequality with regards to language, where this has now shifted towards inequality in terms of socioeconomic access to education. And it's that particular, unaddressed need that students are certainly most vocal around. And that in many ways makes South African students of the past and of the present quite unique from anywhere else in the world.
It started off with Feesmustfall, but it's also incorporating other movements, because through Feesmustfall it has created platforms for people to speak out about injustices that also include injustice of a sexual nature, your out-group, in-group alliances, and how one movement has raised awareness and created a platform for many other people who were previously silenced to speak out about how they feel and to address matters in a manner that could possibly educate the masses. The students have objectives in which they would like to achieve. So the structures that are in place, the institutions, are obstructing those goals one way or another. So it would be the university as an institution with its management and the students on one side. So at some point in time they meet at the top and something's got to give, which is currently what is happening now, where students are trying to work on resolutions as to how they're going to get what they want, but at the same time how management is going to get across how they see that things are not as easy as, or perhaps as simple as students might be making them seem to be.
And we're seeing that the Feesmustfall movement has actually blown out into something that is it's going to shift towards the political status of students in higher education in the country.
The key points to all these movements are decolonization, Africanizing of curricula, racial inequality, financial exclusion, and the end to outsourcing, and also languages.
How do we as psychologists basically give a voice for this movement? It is basically through indulging in dialogue with students, university holders, the government basically, and making sure that students are given with these structures a platform to talk about Feesmustfall, to say these are our problems, and make sure that government does not ignore students, that leads them to take to the streets.